less is more, you know. The simplest explanation is always the truest.
What people think are particles are spherical wave structures consisting of an outgoing wave combined with an in wave. Mathematicians are fairly happy with this because these are the only two possible solutions of the equations. So that part is okay. Now the center of this structure behaves just like a particle. The only problem is not many people know it yet, because not many people have investigated it.
I developed a way of looking at this through the intricate order that's based really on quantum theory. And the way it works is to consider that there's a wave. You may think of this wave coming from outside, from the whole universe, which converges to a point and then diverges again. Now, it links everything. It means that everything is internally related to everything. Now,
Of course, the real world's a bit more complicated than this little circular dish. We don't know whether it has a circular boundary or not. That doesn't really matter. But the thing is, it is three-dimensional, not two-dimensional. So the wave structures are likely to be rather more complicated than this. However, we can understand that in a universe full of vibration, that centers can exist which have particle-like properties, which will have different phases that can account for the different charges of different particles, but that these are standing waves, and that the energy coming into each one and the energy going out of each one is the same energy that passes through the center as the concentric waves converge on the spot and then go out, and that the arrangement of all of these different ones is supporting the phases of the waves of all other particles. Every particle in the universe is being constantly recreated by the energy of all other particles. This is something which is not really understood by physicists, and I think it's a very important point. If we want to understand how the universe works, we do need to say that nature actually works like this.
Animations is Gabriel Lafreniere, and he showed here how a wave is made from the incoming part, a standing wave, plus the outgoing part. These two components together make a standing wave, which you can see here. So it appears to just stand in space, but it's actually composed of the inwards and outwards waves. Of course, the outwards wave is just the inwards wave after it has passed through the center and comes out again of the spherical wave descending on a point. So this type of wave has the correct properties that we need to explain particles. If the particle is in motion, then the point at which it's converging has to be moving, so the waves are converging on a point and coming out from a point in opposite ways. So when you get the standing wave, you get this suddenly a strange effect where the wave that we saw before has superimposed on it these other bands of alternating phase, and these are de Broglie waves. All these calculations, as we had also managed to derive these calculations that show the de Broglie waves from this understanding of standing waves, but in this animation Gabriel has made it very clear what's actually going on, and the understanding of all of these things. It's clear that these are real waves. Real waves are happening that explain the nature of matter as being standing waves.
people think are particles are spherical wave structures consisting of an outgoing wave combined with an in wave. Mathematicians are fairly happy with this because these are the only two possible solutions of the equations. So that part is okay. Now the center of this structure behaves just like a particle. The only problem is not many people know it yet because not many people have investigated it.